The thing I want to point out here is a few ways to expand that basic Jimmy Reed kind of feel, and then also how to include some kind of more funk-related scratch rhythms and things like that, and maybe play some fills in and around the basic groove. So for starters, just to expand on this basic idea of, you can throw in a double stop that harmonizes that. And what I'm doing is walking up, I've got these two notes, 2nd fret on the middle 2 strings, 4 and 2, 4th fret and 2nd fret. And then instead of just going up to the 5th fret here, I'm also going to add the 4th fret here on the 3rd string and then come back. And then on the D, I'm going up to the 5th fret on the 3rd and 2nd strings, and there's actually, you can even hammer on like that from the 4th fret on the 3rd string and the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And you're kind of brushing all 3 strings, which also bears a resemblance to the Sesame Street theme, but that's kind of neither here nor there. And then down on the E string, you've got the same thing as on the A chord, where you're going up only down a string. So 5th fret and 2nd fret and 2nd fret on the 5th string and the 4th string, 4th fret and 2nd fret, and then 5th fret and 4th fret on the 5th and 4th strings. Now here it's not as easy to do the hammer on, so you can kind of fake it just with that 4th fret and 2nd fret, and then 4th fret on the D string pulling back off to the 2nd fret. And that works here too on the A. It's also the same kind of groove as the Chuck Berry tune Memphis, incidentally. Now some of the other things you can do up the neck, some other kinds of chords. Since you've got this straight eighths feel, you can also be playing things like and you can keep the open A in there, which makes it sound really fat. Okay, so I've got the open A, and then the 5th fret on the 4th string, and then the 6th fret on the 3rd string. And to me it sounds good to put a suspension in there at the 7th fret on the 3rd string. And if you're going to do that, so it's like makes an A7 sus chord temporarily. And I also like to keep the 2nd string muted with the back of my ring finger, and then put my middle finger in on the high string at the 5th fret, so that you get right hand is just doing a scratching kind of pattern. Same thing though as with the basic rhythm pattern. You're putting the emphasis on the and of 4, and then coming with an upstroke, and then coming in hard to mute and play at the same time on the 1. And on the 4 chord, straight up D9 chord will work. If you want to suspend that, you can slide this finger up 1 fret. And it will even sound good because A is part of a D chord. You can let that open A continue to ring during that too. So so that works nicely. And then while you're keeping the groove together, one more thing you can do is try to fit in some fills in between, which requires letting go of the groove temporarily, but you can get away with it most of the time. So if you're going along so all I'm doing is just dropping out in time to play a lick that resolves back to A on the downbeat. other things you can slide in. Say you're on a D chord. And there I'm taking the same idea we had earlier of sixths and doing it, sliding into that part of a D chord. So that might work like this. And then I'm just ending with a little blues lick out of the A blues scale. There's a lot of different kinds of things you can slip in there once you get comfortable with it, even little pentatonic riffs. The thing is, you've got that open A there, so you can really make use of that going further up the neck and still having that open note. Something like that, where you've got the root, 5th and 7th, and you're hammering on to the 5th from the 7th fret to the 9th fret on the 3rd string. Anything to break it up with a sort of single note feel while you can still keep the consistency of the groove together. And again, adjusted for taste. You know, you don't want to be doing a million different things, but if you're going through the groove a handful of times and you can throw in a few of these things at the right moment, sort of to punctuate a solo or at the end of a vocal line, that'll help keep things interesting and moving along.